All right, and that's another reason why I just don't like Black Desert. All right, hey everybody. So we are talking about the DLSS 5,
Yeah, with NVIDIA.
right? With NVIDIA. My layman's sort of understanding of it is video games get upscaled using AIs, right? Like NVIDIA's, like whatever. Like I guess it's on their cards, right? I'm not too sure, but you get to like turn it on, and then now you can see the sweat beating off people's like brows, and like everything just becomes like AI enhanced upwards. We'll talk about it and give you our take on it. And what do you guys think?
Personally, I think that it's... I don't know. I think that the AI upscaling is pretty uncanny. I don't know. There's just something about seeing how they transform the picture that just seems weird to me. There's just something off-putting. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it just feels weird to see. But other than that, I feel like it's a way that these companies can get lazier and lazier and kind of rely on the consumer to have their rig or console do the heavy lifting, which is pretty shit. We don't want that because everything's getting more expensive, like PC parts, and I believe PlayStation is also increasing prices of their consoles. We're not going to talk about Xbox. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a point about people can abuse it, where companies are going to skimp out costs, like skimp out development costs, in order for them to develop with these kind of things, and basically just say, hey, let's just use AI to finish everything else, right? And it really sets like a very dangerous precedent. And the other part is, the I guess the good part you can look at it is also that it can be used to help companies that are low budget, that are struggling, that have to use really low graphic engines, assets, whatever it is, and that AI can help them, give them an advantage in terms of like, okay, at least we can make the game look prettier without losing all this money, so that we can use the valuable money that we have to focus on other parts of the game, assuming they do invest that money back, right? Like they can say invest more on like voice acting, story building, like more levels, more content,
More money for shareholders.
Yeah, and that's the other side of the thing, right? If I can just skimp all this and not use any of that money. Instead, I'm gonna buy my CEO like another yacht, and then shareholder prices will increase as well, right? So it's really interesting, but I think the most interesting part is I have to see how it looks in practice.
Oh yeah,
Because one of the things that I saw, like in on NVIDIA's website, they do like this huge little slider kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where they show you, oh, this is what DLSS, but this is what it looks like when DLSS is off, and this is what it looks like when it's on. And you can clearly see that when they look at characters and facial features, it looks amazing. Like it has, like the characters come alive. There's so much more depth to them. There's so much more details. And it looks absolutely fantastic. But I think the one that I always focus on, because I don't really give a damn about the cutscenes and all of that. I care more about in-game gameplay, because that's what I'm usually going to be obviously more immersed in, right? And there's a really good example of there's one for Hogwarts Legacy, and there's one for what they call the Zora tech demo, which is more like environmental. So it's not about the characters. It's more like there's one which is a witch who is just looking at who's like in the middle of, I guess, like the village. I forgot what the place is called. I haven't played it in a long time. And then one with like some like little garden plaza gazebo kind of looking area, basically. And you can really see that it doesn't really change that much. It enhances the lighting, which does make the world more vibrant, and it makes it look more alive, which is good. But it doesn't do nearly as much as the facial features of these characters and all their things.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I would be far more interested if they did like here's like a, I don't know, 10-minute tech demo of, we're gonna play, let's say, Resident Evil Requiem, and we're gonna do a 10-minute video of DLSS off, so what it normally looks like, and then we're gonna do the exact same playthrough of the exact same location, but DLSS is on. And that is going to be a very interesting way for me to know whether it's going to be a big improvement or not. Because one of the things that really shines out to me as well is DLSS on makes everything brighter. So how's that going to work in terms of a horror video game where I am supposed to be scared of like pitch black darkness? If I can clearly see this thing walking like 5 miles away from me, then suddenly the game experience is just like muted for me, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think some people are stupid for this, but like some people come back for that is, oh, it's an AI, it'll know if it's a scary game. I'm like, I don't think so.
You have to test it out first, right?
So. Yeah. But yeah, in terms of what you're saying, I completely agree. I need to actually see this in practice, because right now I see stills, right, from video games. Oh wow, you punched up a lot of the contrast, which, by the way, most AI like images, if you've ever seen them, one of the telltale signs that they're AI is they have really punchy contrast. Like one side is well lit and the other side is dark to create like contrast, right? And all these images that I'm seeing on the website are exactly that. They're just super punchy and contrasty, right? It's like if I don't know if you guys have ever painted or done any kind of artwork, but it's like imagine if someone just like goes into like Photoshop and then pushes like the contrast button or whatever, and like, or the slider, and just slides it up and down, right? Like that's what I see personally. And my whole opinion on this is, I think this is a piece of shit. Okay, I think this is the biggest piece of shit. This is where our RAM prices are going. Like, come on, dude. I understand having the option for something like this. Cool. I don't think it's gonna like change or revolutionize gaming. But I think it's going to be I think it's actually just going to be bad for gaming as a whole, because personally, I liked games looking not that good. And okay, this is like the whole artist thing. Like I think that when someone designs a game, they put a ton of like effort, like the art studios, I could be wrong, on how things are looking, right? Like, what is the overall theme? How does this make me feel? Like all that stuff. The color palette is chosen. The specific clothes and specific way a person is in a frame is all done on purpose by an artist, right? And like, for instance, do you guys remember like the early horror games of like whatever? Like, okay, here's a game that I've actually just been really interested in recently. It's called Crow Country. Let's see if I can get you some images of Crow Country. But yeah, it looks like a really, really old school, like kind of like a NES game, right? And its horror is like driven from like the fact that it's so choppy that you don't know what's scary and what like you don't know what the creature looks like exactly. You have some sort of like I think your imagination is the scariest thing in the entire world. Okay, no matter what someone puts in front of you, you can imagine horrors that are way worse, right? Like your brain will just like fill in gaps that it doesn't need to. And it will make something as scary as possible. So all the old like Silent Hill games and stuff where there was like fog and there was like pixeled graphics, you made up how scary that was, right? Versus the new Resident Evils, which they look great, don't get me wrong, but I can see the monster, right? Like the moment you see the monster, I think that you lose a sense of mystery. Then you lose a sense of how scary it is, right? Same thing with like if you actually can shoot a monster and it bleeds or something, and you can clearly see that it's hurt, like you've actually kind of destroyed the mental game, right? And the reason I bring all this up is because this AI is not going to know shit about game developing or what the artist was actually thinking at the time. It's just going to upscale everything with its stupid perfect lighting and whatever, and it's going to give like facial features, and it's going to give like sweat on people's like faces and like all this unnecessary extra element that I don't need to see as a player. It may actually even just show me the monster. Like, let's say a monster's concealed in a shadow or something, right? And it just hyper contrasts it, and now I can totally see it, and it doesn't look that scary anymore, right? Mm-hmm. So I think this is overall going to be super damaging for gaming. There's no upside to this, like, unfortunately. And even worse, our RAM prices are going to go up because of this nonsense. Another thing is, I want to know if NVIDIA is going to freaking be like, hey, if you are playing a game on our hardware, it has to be AI upskilled. Like, it's a mandatory thing, right? I'd fucking, I don't know, I'd lose it, man. If that happens, I would actually just not buy NVIDIA anymore. Like
I would it would be hard to imagine they would force it upon you. Like I think it's always going to be an option, just like every other thing in their systems.
Yeah.
Like I don't think they're gonna be like, okay, in order to play this game you must have AI scaling. I think that would be kind of crazy. I'm not even sure if that's like legal, but like I really do agree with what you said though about the part about artist intentions, right? Like some people have built their games and designed their games a certain way and in a certain art style because of their direction. Like they believe that this is the best shading or the best way to portray a certain sense of feeling or concept to an artist.
Yeah.
And AI can, because it doesn't understand the intentions, it is only trying to improve what is in front of it in the best way that it knows how. It might like actually screw over the game, right? Like kind of like what you were saying about Crow Country. Like if everything there suddenly turned upscale 4D HK, like you know, like HD textures and all this stuff like that, right? It's like suddenly it becomes really strange, right? It doesn't have the original charm that it's supposed to have anymore, right? And this is like a very small like point, but the only point that I would say that it could be good is if someone is playing on like a really bad rig, right? Like they're just broke, can't afford a good computer. Like you say, prices for CPUs are going up like crazy. They bought the CPU and they can't buy anything else. They were just basically screwed, right? Yeah. But they really also want to enjoy a high quality game. They like in terms of graphics, not just the game, but the graphics as well. Let's say they really like realistic looking characters or really vibrant looking world, right? They want to have God rays in their games, but they just can't. Their computer would explode on a normal day if they ran God rays, right? And so AI would be that bridge that allows them to enhance the quality of their game without breaking their computer.
All right. One counterpoint to that, Michael. Yeah. I actually think that if you are poor and you cannot actually afford a good rig, this is not the solution either. Because I think another thing as to why I actually want to see some actual gameplay with this on is I think once we see it, you'll be able to see that it's gonna have tons and tons of jitters. Okay, personally, in my opinion, because all the stuff we're seeing right now is NVIDIA showing us the best of the best, right? They're gonna pick out they're gonna cherry pick like the best whatever. But to me, this looks like a game. It's running in the background. Over top of it, there's an AI that's like filtering everything, right? And we've seen filters go wrong. You've seen all those those beauty filters and those those what are they called? Those apps that girls use that have beauty filters. If you move too fast, right? I don't know if you guys have seen that video where there's a guy who's I guess his girl's interviewing this guy, and all he's doing is just moving his head in and out of the frame and yelling, right? And the girl's wondering what he's doing, right? And he does it so many times that the AI doesn't, or whatever, not the AI, the filter can't keep up with it. So the filter breaks, right? And then it breaks for the girl as well. So then you see what she actually looks like. And then when he I guess she cuts his video feed, and then she's like, oh, I wonder what that was all about and stuff, right? Where it's it's the same thing that's gonna happen where here in when we start gaming with this the filter, it may not be able to render action properly, right? It may just stutter. You may see 3 instances of a sword because it's a filter. It's overlaid on top of your game. It's not in your game, right? So I think it's gonna jitter. And here's the worst part: someone with a shitty PC, because this filter is running over top your game, that's even more memory that it has to allocate to fix that. And I don't think that's gonna fucking chug people's engines, man, and their RAM and their whatever. It's gonna really push it. So anyone who wants to experience better gaming on a shitty rig it's just not gonna work, man. That's just my opinion on that.
Yeah, I think that one would need to be tested out, right? Can it run like you say it does, right? Where it runs it can't run. Let's just say if you put into a real game the textures and it would just break the game, or if it actually runs smoothly, right? Because I think there is an argument to be made for either one of those situations. But yeah, like absolutely, I think it's not the best solution, but I think it is worth exploring, I guess is the way I would look at it.
Mm-hmm. Totally. And like we've had filters over games before, right? So an example would be like a really dark game, like I don't know, like some shooter game that has really just dark shadows and stuff. People will just bump up the gamma or something, right? That's within the game, so it's like easier to manage. But like there are filters that will actually just make things more vibrant, so you can see them better. Like hold on, let me see if I can give you an example of what I'm looking at. Right? Like stuff like this has already existed kind of in gaming, just filters that bump up contrast, right?
Right.
So I'm pretty sure that's just going to happen here, and it's just overall, it's just going to provide a negative gaming experience for us gamers, man. Like, I understand where this came from. No, actually, to be honest, I don't understand no, maybe I do understand where this came from, because everybody's so crazy about AI right now, and how much of a difference that it can like help people and like change everyone's lives. Like, dude, get out of here. Like, gaming was fine. Gaming was on an actual pretty good comeback for the past couple, like maybe 2 years now, and now we're like, now with the advent of RAM going up and stuff, like I really feel for gamers out there, man.
It's definitely not it's a rich man's hobby now.
Mm-hmm. It's a rich man's hobby with like, and we're also running out of fucking, well, maybe not running out, but we just don't have options, like, you know?
Yeah.
People constantly want to take away our fucking options and whatever, and you know, no, you'd actually like gaming better if there was a stupid shitty filter over top all of your game, you know, and then you know, not to mention all the other issues with games like currently. But anyways, yeah. What else do you guys think about this?
I don't know. I think it's a very dangerous path, but I can also argue that it has a slight bit of potential, depending on how it's implemented and how it's used. Yeah. But I think to your point, right? I think in the current gaming space, there is an onus more and more on gameplay and actual product rather than graphics nowadays. Which is good. Mm-hmm, like people are becoming more aware that, hey, even if your game looks good, if it's a terrible game, I'm not going to play it. You know, I'm just going to go buy another game that I think is just better, basically.
Oh man, so, dude, you just hit the segue into the next topic that I want to talk about. Just keep going.
Oh god. But yeah, like and so there's hope that even with these graphics, right?
Yeah.
If some companies try to abuse this and say, hey, we're going to cut the budget on the graphics department, right? Like graphics, assets, design, whatever you want to call it. Yep. That department but like the hope, and this is a very slim hope, but it's a hope that it's going to be directed to something useful, right? Like it's actually like, hey, let's actually focus on the gameplay and content, because nowadays in the market, if you have really cool graphics but your content isn't good enough, there's still going to be an issue, right? People will still not buy the game. It doesn't matter how like high fidelity your graphics is. Like High Guard's graphics was actually pretty decent, but gameplay was just not there, right? And it shut down. It's, you know, RIP High Guard. But that tells me that yes, like at least the good point is that the market is waking up and saying that you can't just feed us really garbage content just because it looks good.
Now, Michael, segue. Imagine it's 2016, March 3rd, okay?
Oh god.
Okay. The fateful day. So there was a game that was released that day. Yeah?
Okay.
And in this game, it's me and Bav played it. We know about this extensively. And I gave this game a fair ass shot. I played it for like maybe about 2 years, but then casually I was playing it for 2 years on and off, and then I played 6 months like legitimately, like, you know, trying out all the content that I had to offer, its end game content, whatever. So anyways, there's a game. It's an MMO. Okay. At any time you can tell me what this game is, okay? If you figure out what it is, okay? And then you play the game. It's gorgeous. For 2016, gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous, open world. You can ride horses, fucking beautiful. Titties everywhere. Okay, great game. Okay, just all the characters looking fucking amazing. Korean game. Okay, just the best graphics you've ever seen for an MMO.
Does it start with the word black?
How'd you know? Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You go into the game, and the first things that you fight are NPCs. That's chill. Okay, that's completely fine. I enjoy that. Whatever. You start realizing that the game's like, oh, it's kind of cool. Like it's a hack and slashy kind of game, and then you do some quests, and you're like, oh man, I love it. Questing is so cool. Everything's so well thought out. And then like you keep going, and then one of your friends tells you, hey, the game doesn't start until you reach level 50, by the way. So you need to get to level 50 now. Okay. So you start grinding your ass off because you actually find the game enjoyable. You get to 50. You finish your 50 quest. Now guess what? The game unlocks. Okay, guess what you get when the game unlocks, Michael?
More grinding.
Kinda. No. You get the option to PvP now. Woohoo.
Okay.
I know, right? Okay, cool. Is PvP gonna be sick?
Like my response is okay because I don't like PvP content anyway.
Okay, me neither. But anyways, they're saying this is it. This is the part of the game that's like, oh fuck it. It makes everyone just go crazy, right?
Okay.
This is the reason people play this game. Okay, cool. So what do you have to do when you're 50? Okay. So here's what you do. You get an item. Okay? And you've been doing this the whole time because the game's primed you to do this. You get items. And you get to enhance them, right? So you go from +1 to +2 to +3, whatever. After you get to +3, something weird happens. Your item has the chance to break.
Okay.
Okay. And you're like, oh fuck, I don't want my item to break. First couple of times, it doesn't break, and you're like, I must be the luckiest guy in the whole world. Holy shit, right? And you're like, all right, okay. Then you get to like fucking level 5 or whatever the enchantment like the thing goes up to. Now you're facing down maybe 30% breakage rate, right? And you're like, I need more power so I can go grind more, so I can get the resources to upgrade my gear.
Yes.
The game doesn't make this apparent, but now you are trapped. Okay, you are trapped in this endless loop of pain and suffering. Okay, where you go out there, grind for an hour and a half. Okay. And hopefully make your money because you're just grinding through endless hordes of monsters in a rotation, in a rotational pattern around, while you're making sure nobody is, because you're flagged for PvP. Because guess why? When you're flagged for PvP, you get more EXP from mobs and more drops. Why would you never flag for PvP, right? You'd be silly not to flag for PvP. People will show up and they'll be like, I want that farming spot. They'll beat the crap out of you. Okay, this is when you put your skills to the test, right? And you're like, I'm gonna actually fight him and win. You fight him. You realize that guy has grinded more than you, and his equipment is higher level than you. That's okay, right? It's a hack and slash game, right? Wrong. If you are higher gear score than your opponent has an inherent advantage against you. Not just because they have better equipment and they hit harder, but because they hit you more often. That's right. That game has a hidden dodge mechanic that you cannot avoid. It's an accuracy mechanic. If you are hitting people that you're higher level to, you're more accurate on your hits, they're less accurate on their hits. It is the shittiest, like, you don't even have to hit them. Like, as in, like, once you hit them, then the game checks if you have accuracy or not, so your damage numbers go through. If not, then you're hitting them and nothing is happening. Like, that is I don't know what game, I don't know why they thought of that. I think I know why. But then you start looking deeper into it, you're like, whoa, I hate the freaking accuracy system. It's so shit, right? You look into it, and there's people that are telling you this whole time, everyone's gaslighting you, going like, no, actually, you're bad, because if you just practice harder and get better at your combos, then you could beat a guy who's higher gear score. Look at this guy on YouTube. I forgot what his name was, like Chud Zero or whatever. Chud Zero, like, he beats all of his opponents that have higher gear score than him, right? And like, okay, true enough, fair enough. He seems to be winning. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know why, but he seems to be winning against people using some broken ass fucking combos that he has, right? Guess what? Some classes have grapples. Once you're grappled, you fucking go on the ground, and it's like impossible to get up, and now you're taking all this damage. A few classes have that. If you have a grapple or a block, you're fucking laughing, right? And then you dive deeper into the game, and you're like, hey, traditional hack and slash. Usually, if I play a ranger and I'm really good at aiming, I should be able to win most of my fights, right? Because everyone else is melee, right? Wrong. Everyone has a billion fucking like dashes, so they're catching up to you. Okay, fair. Do they necessarily have to like hit certain like things? No, actually no. They don't like. It's really hard to miss in this game because everyone's hitbox is fucking massive. Okay, and then okay, that's fine. What about when I dodge out of the way of an incoming attack? Sorry, no, that's still a no. The game doesn't interpret dodging as an actual thing. Okay? I don't know why. You actually don't physically move out of the way. Your box is still there, so people can still hit you with their wide-ass like hitboxes. Right? Like, I don't know who thought of that. It's not actual action combat. Then you're like, okay, what if I run behind a wall? Can a ranger man still kill me? Yes, he can. Do you know why? Because the game is not actually an action combat game. It is a tab target game disguised with action combat. Meaning that if someone actually shoots an arrow at you, it doesn't matter if you move out of the way behind like a wall. The arrow is already it already interprets that you've been there already, and it will just pierce you. It will just hit you. There's no way to actually dodge it. By the way, Rangers have a lock-on function in this game. Why that is fair, I don't know, okay? You can also go free mode, but who the hell's gonna go free mode when PvP's on the line, right? And you just like fucking machine gun people down, and you can't beat these fuckers, right? All skills are they're just big, like they have animations of a fireball like coming towards you. No, that's not a fireball. That is a freaking, what do you call it? Like, it's just a laser beam that's already hit your character. The numbers just haven't fucking hit you, right? Or the numbers just haven't showed up on your screen because the animation hasn't finished. Like, do you get what I'm trying to say here? Like, the fireball animation may be a fireball animation, but you cannot physically dodge it because you've already been hit by it. Anyways.
So the calculation is done launch of the skill, not on impact, is what you're
Yeah. So I forgot what that's actually called. Like, I think it's like, have you ever played shooter games where like your bullet actually doesn't have a travel, like it doesn't matter how much your bullet has a travel time, like it just like you've already been hit. Same thing with like snipers, like you've already just been hit, even if the animation is playing out. I forgot what that's called.
Hit scan. It's called hit scan.
Hit scan, yes, hit scan. Everything in Black Desert is hit scan, which I fucking hate because it gives you the illusion that, oh, I can dodge out of the way, I can fucking parry this guy's hits. No, you can't do any of that shit. You just can't. You've already been hit. The animation is just playing out for funsies, right? Everyone's animation is just playing out for funsies. Like, and then, okay, fuck all that. You finally grinded for a month and a half to get your equipment to the next level because your guild wants you to get to the next level for what? The end game of the game. All right, what's the end game of the game, you ask? You fight other people in like 100v100 to claim fucking Baskin Robbins or like some stupid ass fucking town, right? And that's what you do. You fight in this janky ass PvP combat system where everyone mosh pits inside, and the people that are winning are the people that just have higher gear score because they've just played more than you or have paid more. We'll get to the pay part in a bit, okay? Or they paid more than you to actually just get higher gear score. Okay, so where's this pay thing coming from, Rush? Okay, so the way the game works is when you actually like enhance your gear, you can put in these things called safety stones. What do? They have a chance to prevent your item from breaking fully. Pretty good, right? It's like, oh man, you just countered like the whole bad aspect of this game. I just have to gather some more safety stones, right? Yeah, you get safety stones very rarely in the game for playing it, and you need over 100 of them or like whatever. And depending on how much your gear is enhanced, you need more and more of it, right? Guess how you get a large amount of safety stones? Just take a wild guess. Take a wild. It's got something to do with the cash shop.
Oh, you just buy them?
No, it's even more convoluted than that because, you know, you can't sell direct power, right? And you can't have any of these people that are playing the game be like, hey, that's direct power buying. Guess what you can buy? You can buy an outfit. Take apart that outfit. Okay?
Oh, that's right.
And then you get the stones. So you have to drop money on outfits in this game just to get your safety stones. Like, and you can buy the safety stones from the market. Okay? Like, as in using gold. But that's a fuck ton of money. It's like mils worth of money. So now you're like, okay, I want to play this game more free to play. I don't want to actually spend money on outfits. Go ahead. Go out. You have to either get lucky on a lucky drop, like somewhere in the middle of the fucking field, because someone's broken their gear and they need to remake their gear again. And one of those items is the lucky drop. So you guys are farming endlessly for materials and lucky drops and selling all your junk for a week before you actually get one chance at an upgrade on your gear. Also, you can go into that PvP and fight for the Baskin Robbins. Like, do you see how shitty this game is? Okay, and I haven't even mentioned anything else about the game, because the game doesn't have anything else. The game doesn't have, like, it has one system that it was kind of okay, which is like the system that makes you money or whatever, but even that is like, they pay to win it pretty fucking hard. Right? So like you can go offline and your stuff can, like, whatever you've owned can make you, like, they can generate you income if you put workers and stuff there, but it's not a ton of income. And the only way it becomes a ton of income is if you literally set timers to wake up and check on your workers, because some of them will get full or some of them will get hungry, so you have to feed them and stuff, right? Other than that, the game has nothing else. No, like, friendly, like, sort of games of, like, random, like, cards or something that you can play with, like, a bunch of friends. There are a few raid bosses that you do with your guild. Those are actually fun. They didn't expand on that shit. I don't know why. Because the game has to primarily be focused on PvP, because for some reason Koreans love PvP, right? And there's nothing else in that game. So, okay, with all that out of the way, did you get all that, by the way?
Oh, yeah.
Trying, but yes, sure, continue.
Black Desert has now pooled all of its money, and the studio has decided they are going to make a single-player game. Wahoo! Okay? And here's the thing. I know what this studio is capable of. The game is going to look fucking beautiful, right? It's going to look amazing. It's going to look fucking great. The story, however, sucks. I don't think any player that plays Black Desert can tell me their story is actually really good and recite it. Because the story just sucks.
It had a story, bro, to be honest.
Yeah, it has a story. It definitely has a story. Most convoluted story ever. Okay, it's with gods and you know, people finding their inventions. And anyway, forget about all that. Like, they're gonna release this game that I think is just gonna be pretty. It's gonna have a ton of traveling, because Black Desert has a ton of traveling, just to make it look like you're doing, you know, stuff around the map, and the map is so open, it's so alive. No, it isn't. It's just get from X to X, and it takes you like an hour, right? So it's just busy work the fucking game, right? And so yeah, they released this game, and the what are they called? Like IGN and all of them released their reviews for the early copies of the game, and the early copies of the game only scored like 6 out of 10. And their biggest complaint was there's nothing to do in this game. After the first couple of like first area or first 2 areas, that's it. There's like nothing else. There's just traveling, and it's dead. It's dead zone. Like, the game is beautiful, but it's dead. Right?
Okay.
And now everyone who's like the big normies of this like fucking gaming world, they're just like, yeah, but the game looks so good. Like, how can it be bad? You know? The game just looks so pretty. Like, how can it be bad? It's like, dude, games can still be bad even if they're pretty and fucking they look cool, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, that's where I'm at for this whole like thing. Like, Black Desert, or Crimson Desert, as they call it, I think it's a huge flop. Personally, I haven't bought the game yet because I refuse to spend the $50, but maybe I should, just so I could be like, no, my opinion is valid because I've already played this game and this game is shit. Right? There's like almost nothing to do in this game beyond the first couple. So yeah, that's what I think about that. So what do you guys think about that?
You know, I quit it for.
I mean, it's hard to have an opinion of it because I've never played either of them. So what you've really described is a lot of Korean MMOs, right? Like, Korean MMOs are known to be extremely grindy, like extremely grindy. They always have these ridiculous, almost never-ending end game scaling. So usually in terms of like percentage crafting systems, or like minuscule stat boosts that you can get almost infinitely. Like obviously, first few come to mind is MapleStory is obviously the biggest one. Absolutely grind hell in there. Lost Ark also really grindy. Lots of smithing, lots of breaking, lots of things failing.
Such a
lots of
game.
More materials. Apparently, like this game that you're talking about, Black Desert, also really grindy. Like it's the model that suits that culture specifically, right? Like it's a very it's like the reason these games are even allowed a Western release is because they exploded in Korea, probably. And they exploded so hard in Korea where these guys are like, hey, why don't we try releasing this to the West so that the West is able to hopefully enjoy this game too. The problem is that certain parts of the Western culture is not used to this grind heavy culture. They're used to games that give stuff to them, right? They're used to games that just like throw stuff at them, and they're like, oh, I get this. So it's a different mentality, I would say. Now, I'm sure there are some terrible game decisions and game designs in there too, just like every other game. Like some of these things might have been designed almost maliciously so that you are incentivized to spend money, like those like outfits that get you the stuff that lets you upgrade chances and stuff like that, right? Yeah. Like I'm sure there's a design flaw in there as well that's designed to be predatory.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
But what I'm really hearing is, yeah, like their design is not suitable for Western audiences, perhaps, right? And like you say, maybe because they're so experienced and so dedicated to building a multiplayer game that they don't really have the experience of building a single player game, right? They're not used to saying, how can I build an interesting quest line, rather than just saying this person is going to do this quest once, never care about it, only really cares about the EXP that they're going to get or whatever rewards they're going to get. We don't really have to give a damn. But now in a single player game, because you've lost the extra content, which is other human interaction, such as PvP, such as guilds, such as socials, such as, I don't know, all these other things that make up a MMO. Now they've lost all that buffer zone. They now have to create content entirely for a single person to enjoy it, so that might be something that they just struggle with, right?
Okay, but okay. One counterpoint to this whole Korean MMO thing. By the way, Bab, what did you have to say on Black Desert before we go on from that?
I mean, it was the fact that it was the most toxic, like negative feedback spiral that I've ever experienced. And I like, that's the best way I can describe it. Like, you need to buy pets so they can auto pick up the loot for you, which is part of like regular gameplay. It's so toxic, dude. I don't even, yeah.
I don't know. Like, I hate to relive. I hate to go dig up past trauma, because I know you played it for a while as well too.
Yeah, and
like your brother was a huge proponent of the game too. So.
And like I didn't even do the PvP shit. I was doing like the horse training, dude. You were trying to do the other parts of the game, which nobody gives a shit about, because horse breeding was also heavily what's the word? People wanted it, and I got money for it.
Yeah, I get that, but it was also predatory at the higher levels too, because your horses can only mate, like they have a chance of mating, and you have to spend hundreds of dollars to like get them to mate again if you fail the one mate or whatever. So if you have like a 30% chance of mating, it's like people are just fucking dropping hundreds to reset it again. I'm like, what the fuck? Or you have to train a whole horse again to breed with another horse. It's so fucked. But
I did do that AFK on a bit, so. I just had my computer running all day, but my computer back then was pretty good, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But with how everything, the AI optimization and shit, my PC can barely handle like this game at times, and this game it's a gacha game, dude. Like it should be able to run this on my fucking phone, even though it's like optimized differently and stuff. You know what I mean?
But anyways, Michael, like I've heard this whole thing of like, oh, but it's a Korean game, Rush. It's like that's why it's like that. It's like, no, dude. Okay. One of my favorite MMOs that I've ever played. Oh shit. Okay, was Mabinogi. Okay.
With what?
Mabinogi.
I have no idea what that is.
Okay. There's another Nexon game. It's still around, by the way. Okay.
Yeah.
Like literally one of the best games I've ever played in my entire life. It's a Korean MMO. Same thing. It takes a long time for you to become good at something because there's like a proficiency system. Equipment that you use, it's all proficient. Like you can use the same gear. Like your gear is, it can be good. Like, there are legendary gears and stuff like that. But it rewards you for using the same piece of equipment over and over and over again, right? Like, let's say we both have shields. I have a better shield, but you've used your shield longer than me, right? So you can do proficiency upgrades and stuff. So your gear technically is on par or even better than my gear, right? Because of just the sheer amount of time that you've like used that item, right? Mm-hmm. Skills are also like they go really, really high. They go from A all the way to like rank 1. So you go from like A all the way to like you go from like D all the way to A, and then you go from rank like 10 all the way to 1 after that, right? So like and each of those has like scaling progression, right? And it takes you a very long time. And you can like, you can cheese the hell out of the game, and like you won't be able to get your stuff in like a day. You'll probably be able to get like a high rank skill in a month, right? But like what you'll slowly start realizing is the game wants you to actually just live in the universe, just play the game, right? So what it does is it has a heavy emphasis on dungeoning with your friends, right? Heavy emphasis on raids with your friends, and heavy emphasis on social dynamic with people, right, that are in towns. Like they encourage you to talk to other people. They encourage you to give gifts to other people. They encourage you to take on bigger challenges like with other people, go to their houses, make friends, like do all that kind of stuff, right? The game completely wants you to like do all that. And there is a PvP element to the game. I actually think that game's PvP is done way better because nothing's like left for like weird interpretation or whatever. But yeah, like that's a Korean game, has tons of grinding, but it has clear like payouts. And I think that's what separates it from like Black Desert as a Korean game. Like I think Black Desert is just a poorly made game. Not that it's like a Korean game. It's just a shitty game that people just enjoy because it has good graphics. And people like, dude, even me, like whenever a new character would be relaunched and they look hot or whatever, and they have a nice outfit, I'll just go back and buy download the game again. No, you had to buy the game, by the way. Download the game again, and then buy an outfit for this like person, and then start playing them for like a good like week or whatever, and then stop playing. And that's what Black Desert wants. They just want people to just come in, a bunch of them just spend money on outfits, and then that's it. But yeah, I think Black Desert is just a bad game.
I mean, it was a smart way to con people into buying their shit, so...
Oh, for sure, yeah. For sure.
I don't know, like, I feel like I understand what you're saying. Like, how do I explain this? I agree with what you're saying that there are other alternatives, right? It's not that all Korean games are very not pay to win, but at least like pay for advantage, let's just call it, right?
Yeah.
But the concept remains the same, that there is a reason why those games that we were talking about, the Lost Arks, the Black Deserts, all those kind of games are more popular than the game that you were talking about just now, right? Even though, because that game that you're talking about is actually more in alignment with what a Western MMORPG is, right? When we talk about Guild Wars, when we talk about World of Warcraft, when we talk about these things, we're talking about, again, dungeons, community, guilds, cosplaying, like all these kind of things that make the game's social dynamic the sell point of the game, rather than the like predatory, like forging, smithing, whaling aspects of the game, right? But in the Eastern part of the world, that is a popular concept and it sells really, really well, right? So I agree with you that not all Korean games are predatory or have this kind of mechanic to it, but it does remain a fact that clearly there is a clearly those models sell and they make a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard to say like, okay, I like you found a Korean game that matches with your kind of idea of how your game should be played. And I think that's great, right? But I think ultimately that is in itself an issue, right? Like it just doesn't have, it's not the type that you would usually be able to do.
Well, the reason I brought this up is, the big roundabout reason is, do you think that games journals can be trusted nowadays with their opinions on stuff?
Nope.
I think that's a huge topic, dude.
That is a big topic, yeah. Because I think in this particular case, I think they're probably right. And like, that's the worst part. I haven't played the game yet, right? So I need to actually play the game for me to be like, yes. But from what they're saying, it has all the like monikers of what I think this game would have done, which has just been a vapid like beauty fest, right? And there's nothing involved in it except just beauty, and like it just captures people on that. There's nothing to actually do, and I trust them on that, right? Other games that they've probably released are probably like, oh, this is really good, but it's like sucks. Like I think Concord, like IGN gave them like a 7, right? And I was like, like Concord definitely might not be a 7. Or maybe it is. I don't know. I haven't played Concord yet, right? So, yeah, I just want to discuss with you guys whether or not you think game journals should be taken legitimately or not, Like, are we in the age where we necessarily even need them anymore?
I mean,
We got reviews.
after that one video where I saw a game journalist like fail the tutorial level of Cuphead, I was just like, nah, fuck this. It's an
I mean,
unneeded.
you're so right about that, Bev, but at the same time, I think it's important to remember that's one guy. Like,
I mean,
it's one guy. Like,
I mean, that one guy set game journalists back.
He did.
years.
I totally, yeah, absolutely, he did. But it is one guy. Because I've seen a couple other games journals, like they're actually okay. Like I forget, where the fuck's Jake Baldino from again? I forgot. But yeah, like that guy's pretty cool. There are some that I think are good and some that are shit. And but I guess the larger thing is, do you think we should just take them, like as a community, seriously? Should we just say no more journalism? Like just everyone just review the game when they come out.
I mean, people would just not want to do that either. So, because they wouldn't, like, since games are so expensive nowadays, it's kind of, unfortunately, it's unfeasible to do that.
I
to
think maybe
this stuff
games
yourself.
should give out free trials again. You know what I mean?
Only some of them do that, and like all the other companies, like, oh, they'll buy this slop anyways. Like, the sports games, for instance, do they?
Wait, what about them?
Do they like give trials for their games?
No, not always. No, because but like sports games are weird. Like you really literally are right. There's like a contingent of like actual like slop eaters that just love that those games. And like they will continuously buy it every year, right?
Yeah, even though they've
and I don't know why.
to...
It's the same thing. There'll just be like one guy who's different, like fucking like who's that guy? Like I don't know. Mo Bamba shows up with like a new shirt or something, and they're like, "Oh crap, that's his like 2025 shirt. Like I gotta get this game."
I believe they also do shit like loot boxes too, which is wild.
Oh no, that's how the loot boxes and stuff like started actually. Like this whole like
seriously
thing in the West started because of sports games. Sports games had the biggest, like EA got their whole thing from sports like games.
That's wild, dude.
Yeah, man, it really is a big, kind of big.
Yeah, like I think the time of like game journalism is like mostly gone. Like I think because reviews from other players who actually like play the game almost to a certain degree is what I want to say. But like they are just, there's so much information and reviews you can get from everywhere else.
Yeah.
That it doesn't really, nobody really cares about these. And it's also that they also have not been, at least not all of them, okay, to be fair. I'm not trying to like blame every single one of them, but the fact that, there's more than one cases where like these journalist companies are incentivized to give good reviews for certain games, because if they don't give a good review, they won't get access to the next game. So they are incentivized to make maybe potentially dishonest statements about their games, makes them even worse, right? Whereas like people who just buy the game and can go around and say, yo, I've played this game and it's complete garbage. Like, at least they can just go and say that, right? Like they're more than happy to say that, and they just do not care. So I think that's something that's worth kind of mentioning. I think their time is basically gone. No offense. I don't think much of anybody cares about what they say about games anymore. Like, they're pretty much a joke, and they're really just trying desperately to hold on to their jobs.
Yeah.
Which is sad. I get it, but economies change, people's demands change, and therefore that means some jobs have to go. And that's just unfortunate. That's an unfortunate reality that we live in, right? So, yeah, I think most of the time I'm trusting a Steam review more than I trust a critic's review, honestly.
They're a lot funnier.
Absolutely. But okay, do you think there's merit to saying like we aren't these people? Because we genuinely like game. We have a bunch of friends and stuff, and I'm not gonna say I haven't. I've seen like reviews for games and stuff before on like game journal websites and stuff, and like videos, because I just want to see what it looks like or whatever. But do you think that there's a contingent of like normies and like regular people that's all they get their opinion from, like a game review, and then they go and buy the game for like a nephew or like whatever. They don't really like.
Of course.
They don't really. Yeah, I think that's more often than not, though. That's the problem, right?
Yeah, but like you say, like those are the generations of people who don't game anymore, right? Like they're like literally just a consumer. They're like an aunt and uncle who doesn't play any video games, who just wants to know what is the
it's not even just that. Like, I'm talking like I have an uncle. He games technically, right? He's not at the level of us. Unfortunately, we're kind of degenerates, right? Like we're online all day. We play games all day. We're in the loop, right? But okay. I'm talking non-degenerate normies, right? Like, I think they genuinely do look for like game reviews to tell them like, oh, I kind of want to play this game, or show them I want to play this game. It's not necessarily because of like they just don't know any better, or they're just not online. They're not chronically online like we are, right? And I think because of that, games journalism will just stay alive forever. Like, there is a contingent of people that just like need it, and it's like the majority of gamers probably. Maybe not majority, maybe it's like half of gamers, because the other half is like the super degenerates like we are, right?
But like, if you're any remote gamer, like not talking about a person who just games like very, very, very rarely, like if you game remotely, you should know what Steam is, right? Yep. Like you should know what are like, even if you just
hold on.
Search, right?
I know people at my job who don't even know what Discord is. Okay, they know what Steam is. They have like a tangent, like a kind of idea what Steam is. Okay. They do not know, however, what Discord is. Which I think personally, I'm like, that's crazy. How do you not know what Discord is? Like, Discord is what you use to like, play with your friends, right? Like, how do you not know that? And like they have a console. They're not constantly online. They just go to work. They come back and they're like, oh, I want to play like a game on my like PS4. What games are good? Then they like boot up IGN. They're like, and then the IGN guys like, oh, this game is actually hype. Everyone's playing it right now. You know what I mean? You should play it too. And that's where they get their opinion on like what to play. And I think unfortunately, I think that's majority of not majority, maybe like 50% of gamers are just like that.
I don't know. I feel like that's just really sketch. Like
we're just in the in group, Michael. We are the alpha. Like we are the better people, but we are also not seeing the full picture here because we're so ingrained in this culture, Maybe,
like, I think it would be interesting, which is like, if I did, like, let's say right now, right? Let's say I do a quick search on best video games of 2025, right?
Right.
So if I did a Google search, right? Assuming I know nothing about any other websites, I'm just doing a Google search. Everyone should know Google. If you don't know Google, then you obviously are not human at this point. You're just an alien.
Okay.
You need help. So the first thing I see is Reddit. Okay.
Oh god. Okay.
Oh dear.
And then I see a bunch of different websites. So Metacritic, GameSpot, Way Too Many Games, IGN, Kotaku, Game Awards, Games Radar. Okay, these are all publishers. Like not publishers.
Game journals.
Game critics. Yeah, game journals. And then there's obviously some YouTube videos as well.
Yeah.
Now, if I wanted really quick information that I like just based off a single source and I'm not going to really fact check it, I can see a world where game critics are useful. Right, like they're quick, easy information. I just click into this and it says, "Oh, Resident Evil." I'm a Metacritic, by the way. Resident Evil 89. Okay, that's a pretty damn good score. Okay.
Yeah.
Something else, blah blah blah. Right, and it's like, sure, but then it's like, okay, like in a world where I'm just dabbling into the games world. I think it's an okay place where games journalism can live. But I honestly do not think that is a world where they can earn enough money to live, right? Like if you're talking about those people, like how many people is that's going to click onto their website every month? Is it even going to be enough to sustain them? I don't think so, right?
I mean, to be honest, Michael, that I think is also. I think if you have even 100 people consistently, maybe a little bit more, maybe like 200 people consistently click your website, like I think you can make enough money to sustain maybe like 2 or 3 people. Like I know it sounds weird, but like ads make some money. Okay, they do make money, and if you could tell them consistently like, hey, I can have 100 people view this ad, like you will make money, right? And I'm pretty sure IGN and all of them, they get more than 100. They get like at least like 10,000 people that click them every single day, trying to buy gifts for their nephew, or they just want to know the ranking of certain games or something, right? So it is possible for them to make money. Yeah, it's very possible. Businesses can survive.
there might be a niche market where they can survive, right? Like I think it is fair to call them niche at this point.
Oh yeah.
Like I think it is for most people it might not be necessary. Like for like remember, like these websites are also competing with just YouTubers, right? Like people who are of the younger generation who don't like to go to a website and read an entire article about things, who don't even have the attention span to do it. Like they're watching their favorite YouTube video content creator and saying, what is the best video? What is the best video for this? What is the best video game of this? What is a good RPG game? Like they're honing in on a increasingly small market. So I mean, yeah, they can survive. Like they'll probably survive for a bit, but I don't look kindly on their chances of survival.
Yeah, not big. Bab, what do you think about because okay, I know that you actually got me in watching this guy. Remember Angry Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah. So those reviews, like, you did take seriously, right? Like you would believe Angry Joe when he said something, right?
Yeah.
Because I mean, he gives really good points as to why he's right. Like, he'll play the game, he'll show you like, this is dog water, right?
Yeah.
This is the worst fucking game ever or something, right? And I believe him too, right? But technically he is a games journalist, like, in a way. He just doesn't have like he does have like a kind of like a big sort of a thing, but it's like his own website and stuff, but he is technically a games journalist, right?
Mm-hmm.
If, like, let's say games journalists actually just became just better authorities, or like they just had better personalities, like I'm pretty sure they would be able to like make it, right?
Yeah.
Well, anyways, I think we've covered a lot of what I really wanted to cover, which was the AI stuff for this week. Do you guys have any final closing thoughts or anything?
AI bad. Korean
AI
games bad.
Yeah.
No grinding. Grinding bad.
Jobs.
No, it's not grinding, Michael. It's excessive grinding for nothing that I don't like. Okay?
You're grinding for something. Don't mistake that. You're grinding for something. You just find when
my equipment breaks, that's my something. Okay, and now it's nothing. Okay, so
Yeah, you can't even replace your equipment.
What I've given you is a chance to regrind it. You're welcome.
Like, if you literally tell me, grind for 10 times more hours than you've already grinded, and I can guarantee that your weapon does not break, right? And you get the enhancement, I'll fucking do it every day. It's not about
but it's not about that, right? It's about if you pay 100 times more than what you're paying right now, I guarantee you will be able to get the item.
See, there you go, Michael. That's the issue there you go.
I mean, it's not the game's fault you're broke, dude. It's like
now I have to grind in real life for money for my video.
Exactly. That's where the real grind is.
That's the real grind.
That you're just mistaking which grind you should focus on. You should grind on your job, not on your game, dude.
Oh well,
yeah.
Anyways, it's been good, guys. I don't know what our next topic will be, but we'll think of something. Maybe Space Marine 2 not feeling like an actual Space Marine game. Yeah, that's my controversial opinion of the week. Okay.
All right, we're gonna have to start a fight next episode then, I guess. Okay.
All right, sure, for sure. Okay. All right. Anyways,
Peace out.
See ya.